जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवराधारी। गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवराधारी। यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जना वल्लभा गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। यमुना तीरा वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Radha Madhava, Radha Madhava Radha. Jaya Radha Madan Mohan, Radha Madan Mohan Radha. Jai Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Gaura Nitai, Jai Gaura Nitai. Jaya Jagannatha, Jagannatha, Baladeva, Jaya Subhadra. Jaya Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Jai Vishnu Pada Brahman Sabai Vraj Kachari Stotra Sata Shri Śrīmad Divine Grace Labai Charanaravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai Vishnu Pada Paramamsa Parivrajaka Stotra Sata Shri Śrīmad Divine Grace Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Srila Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem se kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyama Kunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Brajabhumi Sri Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadvip Shri Mayapur Dham Ki Jai Purushottama Kshetra Shri Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai Ganga Ma Yamuna Mai Ki Jai Vrinda Devi Tulasi Maharani Ki Jai Shri Hari Nam Sankirtan Ki Jai Srila Prabhupada Transcendental Book Distribution Ki Jai The Most Merciful Lordship Shri Shri Radha Madhava Shri Shri Gaunitai Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani Ki Jai Granthara Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Ki Jai Samaveta Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande All glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees, all glories to the assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrutyam Naram Shaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jaya Mudire Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki. Today we are reading from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 15, entitled The Pandavas Retire Timely, text number 46. Te sadhukrita sarvartha Te sadhukrita sarvartha Jnatvatyantikamaatmanaha Jnatvatyantikamaatmanaha Manasa dharayam asu Manasa dharayam asu Vaikunthacharanam bhujam Vaikunthacharanam bhujam Te sadhukrita sarvartha Jnatvatyantikamaatmanaha Manasa dharayam asu Vaikunthacharanam bhujam Te sadhukrita sarvartha Jnatvatyantikamaatmanaha Manasa dharayam asu Vaikunthacharanam bhujam. Te sadhukrita sarvartha sarvartha jnatvaatyantikamātmanah manasaya dharayamasa vaikuntacharanambujam te sadukruta sarvartha jnatvaatyantikamātmanah manasa dharayam asur vaikuntacharanambujam. Any Matajis? Te sadukruta sarvartha jnatvaatyantikamātmanah manasa dharayam asur vaikuntacharanambujam. Te sadukruta sarvartha jnatvaatyantikamātmanah manasa dharayam asur vaikuntacharanambujam. Te, all of them, sadhukruta, having performed everything worthy of a saint, sarva arthaha, that which includes everything worthy, jnatva, knowing it well, atyantikam, the ultimate, atmanaha, of the living being, manasa, within the mind, dharayam asuhu, sustained, Vaikuntha, the Lord of the spiritual sky, Charanambujam, the lotus feet. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: they all had performed all the principles of religion and as a result rigidly decided that the lotus feet of the Lord Sri Krishna are the supreme goal of all. Therefore, they meditated upon His feet without interruption. Please repeat. They all had performed all the principles of religion and as a result rightly decided that the lotus feet of the Lord Sri Krishna are the supreme goal of all. Therefore, they meditated upon His feet without interruption. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. In the Bhagavad Gita 7:28, the Lord says that only those who have done pious deeds in previous lives and have become freed from the results of all impious acts can concentrate upon the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. The Pandavas, not only in this life but also in their previous lives, had always performed the supreme pious work, and thus they are ever free from all the reactions of impious work. It is quite reasonable, therefore, that they concentrated their minds upon the lotus feet of the Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. According to Vishwanath Chakravarti, dharma, artha, kama and moksha principles are accepted by persons who are not free from the results of impious actions. Such persons affected with the contamination of the above four principles cannot at once accept the lotus feet of the Lord in the spiritual sky. The Vaikuntha world is situated far beyond the material sky. The material sky is under the management of Durga Devi or the material energy of the Lord, but the Vaikuntha world is managed by the personal energy of the Lord. Om Ajnanatimrandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vancha Kalpatarobhyasya Kripa Sindhubheva cha Patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langayate girim yat kripadamaham vande Shri Gurum Dinatharinam. Happy to be here with all of you again. I hope all of you are progressing nicely in Krishna consciousness and bringing a wonderful name to Srila Prabhupada. So, the context here is that Pandavas are retired after hearing that Lord Krishna has left this planet. One by one started leaving. First Draupadi left, and then Yudhishthira Maharaj left, and then all the other 4 Pandavas also left. So how they left, what was their thought process, is mentioned here. Not only leaving, but where they are going. Sometimes, people plan their retirement, but they don't know what they do next. Unless you have a proper engagement, you will end up again going back to the same thing. Isn't it? We have seen this many times. People very quickly, I wanted to join the temple, after they are done with their, material duties, such as some retirement or business or some government work or whatever it is. And after they come and join the temple, they are not actually prepared. They come and then they wanted to join the temple, and after some time the reality comes to their mind. Jai Shri Shri Radha Madhav Shri Shri Gaunita Shri Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Maharani Ki Jai. The reality is their attachments, their attachment to their family. Although they may have certain amount of piety, certain amount of desire to serve the Lord, but that will not sustain for a long time because the detachment is not strong yet. So that's not the case with the Pandavas. Pandavas are thoroughly detached because of their devotional service, constant devotional service, not only in this life but even in the previous life. So that is why Srila Prabhupada is quoting a verse from Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam. He is saying that who will be able to concentrate on the devotional service without any deviation or with great determination? Tesham tu antagatam papam jananam punya karmana te dvandva moha nirmukta bhajante mam dhrudhavrataha. Actually, it requires great determination to complete devotional service. We may come in the beginning with looking at this person, that person, or by the force of circumstances or by somebody else's push, you may come to devotional service. But to sustain in devotional service for the rest of the life is not an easy thing. You have to be fully knowledgeable about what is devotional service, what is your goal, is this the goal that you really want to pursue? You have to ask so many questions to yourself. What am I doing? Why am I doing? What am I doing? For whose purpose I am doing all this? Unless there is a thorough contemplation, not just in the beginning before joining the devotional service, but all through the life. Every day this question must be asked. Why am I doing what am I doing? Because it's easy to be lost in the present circumstances. And it's easy to be responding to the present circumstances. But I'm not saying that we should not respond to the present circumstances. Respond to the present circumstances with the goal in mind. That is important. If the goal is forgotten, then after some time you will ask the same question, why am I doing this? Why am I here? But these people are very intelligent people. Why they are intelligent? Because they are able to focus completely on the lotus feet of Krishna. And Srila Prabhupada is saying that kind of focus cannot come unless you are completely free from sinful activities. Tesham tu antagatam papam. Completely free from sinful activities. And we all know what is sinful activity. No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, and no illicit sex. These are the sinful activities, gross sinful activities. And for some time people may give up these gross sinful activities. It may not be so difficult with a little training. Even this is very difficult, but after some training one may come to that platform. But it's more difficult to give up subtle sinful activities. What are the subtle sinful activities which represent these four only? Daya, Satyam, Tapas, Saucham. Daya means compassion. You may not kill anyone, you may not eat meat, but if you don't have a compassionate heart towards others. Sometimes we are so much, cocooned by our own, my own practices, my own sadhana, my own study, my own this, my own that, and we don't even, give attention to another devotee who may be not doing well, who may be suffering. Or you may not be giving attention to the people in general who are actually craving for something spiritual, and you don't feel the need to help them with something spiritual. And sometimes the opposite can happen with especially the dedicated persons like us. What can happen? I'm all lost with outside people, and internally I'm very shallow. Isn't it? This can happen. I'm a pracharak, I'm a preacher. So anybody who comes, I will just, chant Hare Krishna, chant Hare Krishna. You don't chant Hare Krishna. So either of the extremes that we go to, and then we don't actually maintain the balance. And we don't maintain the balance, it's very difficult to remember Krishna at the time of death. So, daya must be shown, but appropriately it must be shown. Too much compassion means it's actually not compassion. Compassion which is not equipping oneself with self-compassion. You should have compassion for yourself also. If we are drowning, what can we do to others? How can we save others when we are drowning? Or, there is another aspect of compassion is that Prabhupada says that in the Bhagavad Gita, you try to save the dress of a drowning man. The compassion is a misdirected compassion in this present world. Oh, somebody is suffering so much, so give him some food, give him some shelter, give him some, clothes or some dwelling. Now, the world situation is so bad today. Brothers are killing each other in the name of religion, in the name of their faith. Actually, all of them are brothers. But they are killing each other, they are blowing up. Small children, women, everybody, without any discrimination, people are killing each other. No compassion whatsoever. And they think that, simply by, in the name of religion, if I blow up somebody, I will go to Jannat or somewhere, whatever their understanding is that. So that is another kind of, heartlessness. Compassion is not there. Hatred, so much hatred is there towards each other. So, simply by not eating meat, you are not doing something great. Don't think that you are achieving, you are on the Everest or something like this by not eating meat. It's like you are in a home which has 4 pillars, and then you are boasting that, I am not thrashing the pillar. You see, I am such a good man that I am not thrashing the pillar. What? You are living under a home and you are declaring proudly that I am not thrashing a pillar. If you thrash the pillar, what will happen? The home will collapse and you will die. So you are not doing anything great to anybody else. By not thrashing the pillar, you are protecting yourself. You are not doing something great. So similarly, these 4 pillars of religion are called Daya, Satyam, Tapas, Saucham. Just by protecting the pillars, not thrashing them, you are not doing anything good to others. You are simply doing good to yourself. So let us not be proud that, I am following 4 regulative principles. That too in a very, very rudimentary state. In a very, very fundamental state, you are following the regulated. Even that we are struggling to follow. And I just explained only one. Daya. Satyam. Satyam is the most mysterious thing in this world. Satyam is only known to that person's heart. It is not known to anybody. What is the truth of anybody? Nobody can find out what is the truth of anyone. Because you have multi-faced personalities, everybody in this world. They say, he thinks one thing, he speaks one thing, he does another thing. This is what people are of, Kali Yuga. Deceitfulness. Kali means kapata. Kapata is born with Kali. Kapata means what? Not being straightforward. Very diplomatic, deceitful, planning, always planning something else, but appearing to be something else. So this is what is the people's nature. They are not so simple-minded. Prabhupada said, Krishna consciousness is very simple. It is simple for the simple, it is complicated for those who are complicated. So, Satyam also is very difficult for us to follow. In fact, it is said the Satyam is the only thing which is little tottering. Out of the 4 pillars, 3 pillars are already smashed. Daya, Saucham, Tapas is anyway over. Though Satyam is the only one which is a little bit tottering. And if you don't bank upon that pillar, which is already existing, even though broken a little bit, but it is existing, then you cannot revive all the 4 other 3 pillars. That means to say that unless we are truthful, we cannot actually become devotee. To become a devotee means to be taking the shelter of the lotus feet of Param Satyam. Ordinary Satyam is only not there. What Param Satyam you will get? In our life, ordinary Satyam only is not there. And sometimes in our preaching program, sometimes we are being trained. Don't worry about lies and all. You can tell lies. For Krishna's sake, you can do anything. No. Even if it is for Krishna's, you are not so exalted that you can tell a lie and then still get Krishna. We are coming from gutter of this material world. Unless we clean ourselves from this, the gutter of the material world, by being truthful, by being non-violent, we can't actually get Krishna. Don't think that right away I can use everything in Krishna's service. Even lie I can use in Krishna's service. Sometimes this is bombarded. I know, in the beginning of my Krishna consciousness, I've been told, tell the, when we were going for life membership preaching, to the people, we are told to tell the people that in the whole of the world, wherever you go in ISKCON center, you will get accommodation free of cost 3 days. Not just that, if you go to London, our people will send a car to you to the airport and receive you. Who would not give money when such facility is announced? And this is finally to know by this person, after some time this person will realize nobody will bother. Not only nobody will bother, that you are also charged with some minimum maintenance, if at all you get a room in our guest house. Don't tell that. Don't attract money by that deceitful ways. So this is a great opportunity to do service to Krishna. I am coming on behalf of the Lord and in this society, and then we are doing this welfare work. Please support us in whichever way you can. This is more truthful. And that money is a good money. And the bad money that comes because of lies is not a good money that will bring all kinds of troubles. Bad money. So we have to be truthful. And Daya, Satyam, Tapas, austerity is actually way of life. That is the basis of spiritual life. Isn't it? Austerity is important that the Vyasadeva is telling his sons, all his 100 sons he was telling. What is he telling? Nayam deho deha bhajam raloke kashtan kaman arhate vidbhujam ye tapo divyam putraka yena sattvam suddhyed yasmat brahma saukhyam tu anantam. So you have to do tapasya. What tapasya? Divya tapasya. Tapo divyam. Divya tapasya means not simply taking some kind of inconvenience just to show off that, I am, sometimes people just to boast, I am doing 64 rounds on Ekadasi day. That's good. Doing 64 rounds on Ekadasi day is good. But not simply, announcing that to everyone and then just to get some kind of, appreciation for others. I'm not projecting it in a bad light. You quietly do 64 rounds of Hare Krishna mantra. Don't take anything. That is nice. Austerity. Austerity for the sake of pleasing the Supreme Lord. Austerity to increase our service to Krishna, one should take. And unfortunately, in the present day society, too many facilities are there for us. What austerity are we going through? Tell me honestly. Ekadasi is supposed to be a fasting day, but it becomes a more feasting day. Nowadays they are inventing a different. Last time I came for the Ekadasi, I was struck with that, the pasta, Ekadasi pasta. Our restaurant devotees have prepared and they have asked me, if you want you can taste it. I thought it's a full sense gratification. And I'm bowled by it. Of course, there is always a choice for you to accept it or not to accept. That's a different thing. But I'm saying, we have created so many, our forefathers were not living in such palatial buildings, magnificent buildings. They had very, very simple dwelling. We have ACs, we have operating space, a very nice operating space. Everyone is equipped with, nice mobile equipment, and then you have laptops, and then all kinds of electronic gadgetry. Transportation is very, very nice. Those days they were only walking, but now you can go with, go everywhere. There's electronic vehicles are there. All these things are there. What austerity we are going through? But one austerity that we can accept is to cooperate with each other. This is the biggest austerity in Kali Yuga. To coexist without difficulty, without fighting with each other in an ashram atmosphere is a much more difficult thing. Because Kali Yuga means age of quarrel. Just for simple, small thing, you will simply, pick up a fight. For simple, small thing. How silly it could be, I will tell you. Once I was traveling in a train. I was feeling a little, hot. So I switched on the fan. The man who was next to me, he said, "You switch off the fan," he said. So I said, "I'm feeling a little hot, so can you please allow me to switch on the fan?" "No, you must switch off the fan." Then I said, "Fan is there for switching on only, na? A fan is there also for switching off," he said. Then I said, "But rug is also given to cover yourself. Isn't it? In the third AC compartment, if you go, there is also rug is there. So if you feel excessive coldness, you can wrap up with the rug." He said, "I won't use the rug. If you want, you can take off your shirt," he said. What can I argue with this fellow? You are in the public place, can you take off your shirt just because you are feeling hot? He is not ready to wrap up himself with the rug, but he is asking me to take off my shirt. I thought it has gone to an extreme point. There is no point in arguing with this fellow. So I simply moved out from that place, went to another place and switched on the fan. So then I realized this is what is Kali Yuga. Kali Yuga means people simply argue for no reason. Just simply pick up quarrel, and they have nothing. They have no reasonableness, no, it is said that, what is that? There is no reasoning. There is no logic in picking up such fights. Simply just like that. The quarrelsome nature is so strong. So, to be able to coexist in a community like this and cooperate with each other and serve each other, complement each other is a very difficult thing to do. So, even though you may not take all the other austerities, you may be using all these fanciful gadgetries and then other transportations and this and that, but if you can maintain this austerity of cooperating with each other, Krishna will be pleased, and that will be taken as austerity. So that is the tapasya. That is the greatest tapasya. That is why before leaving, Prabhupada said one thing and left. Your love for me will be shown by how you cooperate with each other. And you cannot cooperate with each other if you have selfish motivations. You must give up selfish motivations to cooperate each other. Either, either directly or in a very indirect manner, you try to push your agenda, you will not get cooperation of people. At least cooperation of people who are sincere. Business people also cooperate because they have a business motive. So we should not be cooperating like business people. Tum bhi chor, hum bhi chor, tum bhi chup, hum bhi chup. This is also cooperation. But this cooperation is a very bad cooperation. So cooperation should be based on the principles given by the Acharya. So when you cooperate, that is the greatest austerity that you are taking. And saucham means cleanliness. Cleanliness is not a small thing. Just because you are taking 3 times a bath, you don't become clean. Cleanliness means it is cleanliness of thought. You may be externally clean, but to be internally clean is not an ordinary thing. It requires a great amount of determination to be internally clean. What is internally clean means? Not to see anyone with dvesha. Dvesha means enviousness. That is very difficult. Faults may be very right in front of you, faults may be, seen. But seeing persons beyond the fault is a very difficult thing to do. And when we actually do these things, then we are freed from sinful activities, sinful reactions. So the real meaning of tesham tu antagatam papa means this. To be freed from these 4 defects means this. So such a person, bhajante mam dhradavrataha, that they can actually focus at the lotus feet of Krishna. One will be equipped with knowledge also, one will be equipped with detachment also, if one has such pure spiritual goal of being attached to the lotus feet of Krishna. Vyasadeva Bhagavati Bhakti Yoga Prayojitaha Janayatyasu Vairagyam Jnanam Chayat Ahaitukam. They will come automatically. We don't have to specially endeavor for these things. We just have to be very simple-hearted in serving Krishna. No calculations. To become a follower is a very difficult thing. It's not easy to be a follower. It may be easy to be a false leader than to be a true follower. People think that it is very, very easy to be a follower. No, it's not easy to be a follower. It's very difficult to be a follower because we have a corrupt mind. And to set aside that corrupt mind, complicated, calculative, speculative mind, and just to be a simple devotee in accepting the orders and executing the orders, it requires a simplicity. And Prabhupada always defined simplicity as not duplicity. Simplicity means not duplicity. That is how he defined simplicity. So it's not easy to be a follower, and especially because we have gone through modern education, very complex modern education. What is the complexity of modern education? It starts with questioning your authority. That is what modern education is all about. Don't believe anyone. Don't trust anyone. Everything must be accepted after thorough logic and reasoning, after experimentation, observation, and only after that, at least after that you will accept. No, after that another phase of scrutiny will happen. This is what we are subjected to in the modern education, in the modern environment. How to become simple? Very difficult to be simple. But simplicity is a very natural quality of the soul. To be simple is the natural quality of the soul. Nobody can teach you how to be simple. Good things are not taught. You have heard this? Good things are not taught, good things are caught. So we need good examples of simple devotees. We have one very wonderful devotee in Prabhupada's time called Jayananda Prabhu. You must have heard Jayananda Prabhu, who was the first person who conducted Radha in San Francisco. Jayananda Prabhu was such a simple devotee that the whole maintenance of the temple fell on him, and he would make sure that he would earn money to run the temple. He would drive a taxi and then bring money and run the temple, cook, and the devotees would come and take prasadam, and after that if something is there, he would take it. Otherwise, that also is not there. He never portrayed himself as a leader or anything like that. He actually served all the devotees. One time, he was walking in the streets of San Francisco, and he was passing through some red light area. And one lady threw one of her garments as a donation. Take this donation. Old garment. So he took that old garment, he brought it to the ashram, and one fine day, he was wearing that gagra or something like that. So devotees thought, has he become crazy? Why is he wearing that gagra of this Mataji, of this old, prostitute? She was a prostitute. His reply was amazing. She sent this, she has given this as a donation. By wearing this, she will get some spiritual benefit. This was his understanding. Can you imagine this consciousness, possessing this consciousness? That kind of compassion is very, very unheard of. Just like Prabhupada showed that kind of a compassion, no? When he was giving a class, one fellow blushed into the room, disturbing everyone, and then walked in the room. It was a small storefront, it was 26 2nd Avenue, those beginning days. And there was a bathroom there, and then I just rushed into the bathroom, and then he put toilet paper. He was completely drunk, very, very dirty. And then while walking, again he disturbed the class, and at the exit door he said, "Swamiji, I kept a total toilet paper for you." In a muffled voice he said that. And Prabhupada's response was that his spiritual life began. See what is compassion? It's easy to criticize others, but beyond that, seeing the seva bhava, the soul actually has seva bhava. That is the nature of the soul. The soul wants to serve someone, everyone. So seeing that and enhancing that, encouraging that, fanning that is actually a very difficult thing. Only a very exalted Vaishnava can do that. Ordinary people like us, we just simply criticize. Everybody was very disturbed with this fellow. Dirty fellow came into the room, disturbed the class, and that too, what is he giving? Toilet paper which Swamiji never used. Isn't it? Devotees never use toilet paper, isn't it? But Prabhupada saw beyond all of this, because he has such beautiful heart like Krishna. Krishna has very beautiful heart. Krishna doesn't see what you are giving, how you are giving is what he sees. So, to have that kind of intelligence, to have that kind of broad-mindedness, one must be freed from all sinful activities. So the context here is that these people are able to focus at the lotus feet of Krishna. You think just like that? Just do any damn thing and at the end of the life you can focus on the lotus feet of Krishna. It's not possible. Not only in this life, but even in the previous lives they have gone through devotional service. They only lived for Krishna's sake. They only lived for glorifying Krishna. That's all their life was. Their life was anything more than that. So that is why they are able to easily, at the time of death, it's not easy to focus on the lotus feet of Krishna. Can we remember Krishna when there is even a bodily trouble for us? It's very difficult to focus on Krishna. Try it out. When your body is not cooperating, what signal it gives? Sleep nicely. Don't do anything. This is paining, that is paining. Pain, there is a pain in the body, difficult to focus on Krishna. And what to speak of the pain which is at the end of the life? The pain is so insurmountable that you can't experience that pain by yourself unless you are in that state. So, but fortunately they are not going through that. They have decided to leave this world like heroes. They have decided to leave the world. Why I am saying heroes? They did not wait for natural death to come. When they came to know that Krishna has left, immediately Kunti Maharani left, Yudhishthira Maharaj left. And how did they leave? It is described. It is mind-blowing to us how they left. They have extricated themselves from this material body. Extricate, like great yogis, extricate themselves. Bring all the elements to the mind, and the mind amalgamated with the five vayus, pranavayus, and the pranavayus, in the midst of the pranavayu, the Atma is there, and through Brahmarandra, one actually can get out of this body. That's a very scientific way of, yogic way of actually extricating the body. Extricating from the body, extricating oneself from the body. So they're like heroes, they left. It is said that when they left, the Panchabhutas merged into the Panchabhutas of this world. To understand only is very difficult for us. Bhumirapo analo vayu kammano buddhirevacha. It's like gold, golden ornaments. You make golden ornaments with a big gold. Right? Similarly, this body is made up of Panchabhutas. Once this body is over, it goes to the Panchabhutas. Each element will amalgamate with the other, the totality of this Panchabhutas. So even to conceive something like this is very difficult. What to speak of actually doing it? They did it. They left the body in such a way that just pure spirit soul exited from the body and then went, and it all happened by concentration, meditation. That is why the highest stage of this Ashtanga Yoga is, what is the highest stage? Samadhi. Samadhi is the highest stage. Samadhi means focusing completely on the lotus feet of Krishna. Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. So Prabhupada gave us a simple way of actually coming to that stage of Samadhi. Always chant Hare Krishna, always remember Krishna, always remember Krishna, always remember Krishna. Krishna's name, Krishna's form, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's pastimes. If this runs all over, all the time, then it's easy. Relatively easy. Not so easy. So this is how they exited the body. So the essential point which Srila Prabhupada is emphasizing in the purport is that they were able to focus on the lotus feet of Krishna because they never indulged in sinful activities. That is the essential point which Srila Prabhupada is saying. Only then your ability to focus on Krishna will become easy. Otherwise we will be distracted and disturbed by so many thoughts which will distract us to remember Krishna at the time of death. If you have any attachments and aversions, these are the things one should actually go beyond. And every day, every moment, there is attachment and aversion. Te dvandva moha nirmuktaha. Dvandvas. Oh, this is nice for me, this is not good for me, I like this, I don't like this, this is my friend, this is my enemy, I became victorious, I lost. All of this, we are disturbed by these things every moment to moment. You walk out and you have something to distract. It can be ichcha, advesha. It can be, favorable, unfavorable thing. And to walk through this favorable and unfavorable thing without being tainted is a very difficult thing to do. Only a devotee can do it. When he considers Krishna's will, he can walk it through without being tainted. And that is what they did. So this is the practice that we need to do. We should not be too much elated when some praise comes. We should not be too disappointed when somebody criticizes. Everything does not last long, I'm telling you. It doesn't last long at all. It's just few moments it lasts. Withdrawing the mind from this so-called happiness and distress is a regular exercise, regular practice that we should do. After all, what is that? What is there to lose anyway? In Telugu we say, somebody is already drowned. Why should he be worried about being wet? He's already fully drowned. So, we are already fallen. You cannot be more fallen than what you are. If you understand that we are already fallen. The problem is that if you think you are exalted, then you feel fearful, I may fall down from this position. We are already fallen. There's nothing more to be fallen. So that is why Krishna is Dinabandho. Hey Krishna, Karuna Sandho, Dinabandho, Jagatpate, Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostate. My dear Lord, please pick me up from this most fallen condition and kindly place me at your lotus feet. Ayananda Tanuja Kinkaram Patitam Mam Vishame Bhavambudau Kripaya Tava Pada Pankajastita Dhuli Sadrusam Vichantaya. So these things are easy to say, but actually these things are very difficult things to do. Unless we are determined to do these things, we will fall again and again, but we must get up and remember these things and continue our devotional service. Then, one day, you'll reach Krishna without your knowledge. I am there in Vaikuntha. You'll be surprised, pleasantly surprised that you are in Vaikuntha. How is that I am brought to Vaikuntha? I am such a rascal. That is why you are brought. That's why you are brought. You should be surprised to be placed in Vaikuntha. Not that, this is my right. I should have come back long time back, but I think, there was a delay. This mentality is not good. Okay, I'll close this with these few words. Anybody has any question or comment?
Said about that we should never lie. So, when we came to Krishna consciousness or when we preach someone, so initially we tell definitely, you tell this to your parents, you tell this, that sometimes when we are going to, let's say, camp, so we tell them, okay, you tell that you are having internship in some college or something. So that if he doesn't tell lies, so he will not be able to come for the camp, and then his spiritual life will never begin.
Nice. So what to do?
So if he is lying, so then from there our spiritual life begin, and then now we came to this point. So,
see, the problem is, we are not anticipating how to speak truth. I will explain what it is. Suppose, you are at a place and you suddenly get a call from a particular person. And you don't want to tell him that you are at this place. So when call comes, when you don't anticipate that this person will ask the question, you're not prepared with the answer. You'll simply slip out your tongue and say that I am at this place, which you don't want to say. But if you're a little bit prepared, and the call comes, you're a little bit prepared. I'm just giving a simple example. I will explain that in relation to what your question is. If you're a little bit prepared, this question will be asked. In a general, regular conversation, people will ask, where are you? What are you? What are you doing? This and that. And you may not want to give unnecessary information to the other person, let us say. For that, little preparation of mind is required. And when you are stumbled with questions, you will have to speak the truth. You're sometimes unprepared to speak truth. Or you don't want to speak truth, then what are you doing? You are already ready with an answer of a lie. It's easy to lie than to deviate that person from that question. Suppose, let us say, someone asks me, I don't want to tell them that, where I am. I can say, I am not there. I am not there means, that person expects me to be there at a particular point, let us say. Something is wrong. Somebody expects me to be there at a point. Then, if he calls me and says that, where are you? I am not, let us say, somebody expects me to be there at the temple, and somebody calls me and says, where are you, Prabhu? I am not there at the temple. When I am saying I am not there at the temple, I am not lying. I am speaking truth. But at the same time, I am not telling where I am. And he is also not probing, because it's a casual question. So similarly, in your study, when you are a student, when you are studying, sometimes casually when you are stumbled with such questions by the parents or friends, you should be prepared with some answers which are not truthful, which are not lies. Then if they know that you are lying, they are probing, they become CIDs, they become CBIs, their probing becomes much deeper. Don't tell a lie so that the question becomes intense. What will you do if they find out that you have not gone for internship or something else? Then they start doubting you very much. I don't know whether you're getting the overall point. These things have to be taught to the students. When you are in a very preliminary stage of accepting Krishna consciousness, how to not speak a lie, at the same time, we don't want to say which is going to disturb them, which is not going to be useful. Suppose you cannot say, I'm in the middle of the arati. You already finished them off. You don't have to say you're in the middle of the arati. You can say, I'm outside. I'm a little busy with some people around me. You may be still in arati, but your answer of, I'm in the middle of the people, is not a lie. You understand? It requires a little preparation of the mind. And you have to have determination, I will not speak untruth. You have to take a solemn vow, I don't want to speak untruth. Why there are millions of ways to speak truth, why should I resort to a lie? This kind of training is required. This is called gravity. A devotee is grave. Grave means unnecessary information is not provided. They don't lie, they don't provide unnecessary information, they don't expect a trouble. Not expect a trouble, they are prepared for the trouble. So we should not think, and resorting to lie is very easy, Prabhu. And once you resort to a lie, what happens is that they will not trust you anymore. They know that you lie for everything or lie for small things. Now if you tell them Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God, will they accept it? Why should they accept it? By the way, you're a liar, and if you preach Krishna consciousness, why should they accept it? So don't lie. And if you don't want to tell the truth, find the alternative truth. And that requires preparation, anticipation.
Another question, Prabhuji. So regarding that story that you told about Jayanand Prabhu, I couldn't understand it because that ghagra which that Mataji had given, it was of no use for Jayanand Prabhu. And moreover, we can think it that way because he is doing all kinds of sinful activities. So when we wear it, we will get sinful karmic reactions over it. And moreover, Jayanand Prabhu can only just sew it, but he cannot wear it in the public. So
he just wore. For a moment he wore and then he took it off.
So
his consciousness is so exalted, we cannot imitate him. See, when we think of the Gagra, we are only thinking how dirty she is, with what all men she slept, and then we wore this Gagra. Only this is going on for us. But that is our level of consciousness, and fortunately, unfortunately, whatever it is, that's where we are. We can't imitate his consciousness. But what I am saying is that understand that there is a consciousness that exists. And just because you cannot be there at that consciousness, you can't say that is wrong. Or he may fall down, not considering all these things. If he does it, He will not fall down. We will fall down. You understand? Just like yesterday I was reading a verse from Bhagavatam where Kunti Maharani says, my dear Krishna, when Mother Yashoda takes the stick, when she found out that you stole the butter, and she takes the stick, and then she comes to punish you, you become very, 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 very fearful. And then you start, tears will be flowing from your eyes, and your mascara will be, by rubbing your eyes, mascara will be, disturbed. And when I look at this scene of yours, I feel completely bewildered. I cannot understand this scene because the fear personified is feared of you, and here you are fearful of Mother Yashoda, and it's not even a pretense. It's not even a drama. It is actually truth. This is bewildering to me. You know why it is bewildering to her? She also, that means Mother Yashoda has earned so much affection of Krishna, love of Krishna, that Krishna becomes really, seriously becomes very fearful when Mother Yashoda comes with a stick. But I don't have that good fortune. I am also on a motherly platform. She is an aunt of Krishna. Aunt and mother are almost on the same platform. She also has a right over Krishna, to chastise Krishna. But she is saying, Tata Paramahamsana Munina Mamalatmanam Bhakti Yoga Vidhanadam Kadam Pashyemahi Striyaha. She did not cross her line. She knew her adhikar, but she knew that there is another person who is on a much higher platform than me, and that is Mother Yashoda. So the point I am saying is that we may be at certain level, and we should not think that the persons who are on a higher level will fall down, or they will be subjected to problems or something like that. No. They are at that level. That is why he became such a great personality. He won Srila Prabhupada's love so much. The Prabhupada ordered that for any Rath Yatra happens in any part of the world, this devotee's picture should be put in the front of the Ratha. How much he must have earned Prabhupada's love. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhuji, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, regarding that life member preaching that you mentioned and giving so much of facilities in that way so people can engage in that way. Similar thing I heard from the Bhakti Siddhanta Vaibhav, that Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj used to send his disciples to go and collect money in the name of temple construction, and when those money used to come, he used to use for preaching only. So then again this trick part is there where we get the money and then use it for Krishna consciousness only, but for some another purpose. So people may give money for this purpose or that purpose, but we may use it for another purpose. So how is that, Prabhuji?
We don't have Bhakti Siddhantas here. If you have an Acharya like Bhakti Siddhanta and can take decisions like this, we can afford to do that. It's my personal opinion. Somebody may differ with it. I wouldn't take that risk, because I don't possess the consciousness of Bhakti Siddhanta. So, as far as possible, better to speak truth and take money from people. Why are we thinking, these fellows are so stingy, unless I show some special attraction to him, I cannot get money from him. That means here only there is a problem. Why don't we think that people are simple-minded? If I simply speak truth, and then they will give money. We are not interested in money. Why do we need so much of money? We need money as much as our services to Krishna are required, that much money is we need. We don't need more than that. Do we collect more money so that money has to be used for some various projects, or money is coming so you use it for projects? It's a very thin line is there. After some time what we become is, we become money-making machines after some time. That consciousness is a very dangerous consciousness if you cross that line. And people who utilize the money, they must be very, very great Goswamis. Prabhupada said every temple must be headed by a Goswami. That is why those Goswami temples are there in Vrindavan. Goswami means one who is fully controlled in the senses. So they will not accept anything for themselves, they will actually use everything for Krishna service. But a lot of money is coming in, we can also, for this personal, for that person, something, something we can use it for this also, that also, that also. I hope you are getting what I am trying to say. We don't possess Bhaktisiddhanta's quality, or we don't have a direction like that of Srila Prabhupada to engage that money. Whatever money comes, we can engage that. So as far as possible, I am saying, as far as possible, truthfully accept money from people, and to that extent we use. We can ask money for deity worship, we can ask money for temple construction, we can ask money for whatever it is, you ask money for that. But why you ask money for something and then use it for something else? That's not good. Like our TTD. TTD is collecting a lot of money. What is that money is used for? They use that money for various purposes other than glorifying the Supreme Lord. We should not do that. Then it becomes a bad money, corrupt money. This world is not dearth of money. Lord is ready to give as much money as it is required for His service. We should have this confidence. We have to be truthful and devotional. Whatever needed will come to us. We have to have this conviction. If we don't have this conviction, we will rot in the material cycle. I hope it's not a harsh answer. Sometimes it may appear harsh. Better to be truthful. Yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. So, Prabhuji, you said 4 pillars. One is ahimsa. We should not. That is very on the dormant stage. More consciousness is also there in that.
Huh?
You said one of the pillar is ahimsa. We should not do himsa, not meat eating and all. And more of that is also there, like showing compassion and all.
Prabhupada said ahimsa means not obstructing somebody's spiritual progress. This is in the 13th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. Amanitvam, adambitvam, ahimsa. In that purport, if you read, this is what Prabhupada wrote. Not obstructing somebody's spiritual progress in any way is called ahimsa. Not simply not harming someone, or this is a very high standard of ahimsa.
So, Prabhuji, my question was that, like while doing some seva, we heard someone, like yesterday I was decorating Prabhupada's altar with flowers. So I was plucking the petals. I was very conscious that I might not harm someone. But a worm came and by mistake, I tore him 2 pieces. So I was thinking throughout the night that I'm trying to serve Prabhupada and Acharya and all. But on the other hand, I killed it ruthlessly. I mean, I tore it into pieces. I mean, I was plucking the petals. Throughout the night, I could not, I thought it's not good. So, like, what should we?
I mean, you can't, the consciousness that it's okay is not a good consciousness. You're a good man because you thought about it. This has happened. It didn't happen by conscious choice. It just happened by an accident. So what you can do about it? Because in this world, that is what happens. You try to do anything, there will always be some harm to someone else. But the whole creation is such that if that worm is killed in that particular way in the service of Srila Prabhupada, the worm may get next better birth. That doesn't mean that you call all the worms and then kill them, no. Like a sarpayaga, Janamejaya. What did Janamejaya do? He did a sarpayaga. Just because one Takshaka killed his father, he started inviting all the snakes into the, Yajñakunda. Then, who came and told him, one of the great devotee came and told him, Narada Muni or some Narada Muni told him, what nonsense are you doing? You are killing all the serpents just because one serpent killed? Please stop this nonsense. So then he stopped it. So, in accident these things happen, what can be done? If we start being, conscious of what all happening, then if you take a magnifying glass and then start walking, you cannot walk only. Isn't it? Every step there is some insect or the other you're being crushed. That doesn't mean you just become carefree or something like that. As much as possible, we don't deliberately commit violence. Understanding what is violence. People who don't have any other understanding of what is violence, what can they do? At least we should understand what is violence. Not obstructing somebody's spiritual progress is non-violence. Alright? Okay. It's already late. Sorry to take more time. Whenever I come, you ask questions. We have some discussion and you ask questions. It's nice. Thank you all very much. Please forgive if I have committed any himsa, please forgive. I know. My speech is the biggest himsa, for some people at least. So please forgive me. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.